Hello and welcome to the Deception Tips podcast, where you will learn amazing cues to detect deceit that will help you read people like never before. I'm your host, Spencer Kaufman. Let's get started.
Welcome to episode 85 of the Deception Tips podcast. Thank you for your continued listening. Feel free to get online and let me know that you're still listening by leaving a review on iTunes, Amazon, anywhere that you see anything related to Spencer Kaufman and deception. That could be the Guide to Deception book, Deception Tips book, the ebooks, this podcast, anywhere. Put a review out there and let me know what you think of all of this deception stuff that I've been teaching you. You could do it on the YouTube channel, anywhere. Put a review, drop a comment, and let me know. I'd really, really appreciate it. Last time, we spoke of a deception tip that was more of a communication tactic. It was something that allowed the target and the suspect to bond a little bit. Now, the target may not have been bonding with the suspect, but the suspect was definitely bonding with the target, in that if the target uses relating language, the suspect will start to believe or think or whatever that they have something in common. And therefore, when people have something in common, they are more likely to share information with one another, or when they believe they have something in common, as in this case. We talked about how it was important that they believe they relate to you, because if you say something about how you do this a certain way and it happens to be something that's similar to them, now they will think that you guys are a lot alike. But if you do something a certain way and it's like them, now they are going to think that you are like them, which is also good. Either circumstance is nice. If they believe that you are like them or that they are like you, either way works. Because if they think that you are like them, then they will be more apt to have a superiority type. They'll maybe be a little bit contemptuous or a little bit more confident. You may start seeing other signs like the steepling of fingers or the seat back. They're going to lay back, or their feet may go up, that kind of thing, because they're going to start to feel like, yeah, this person's a lot like me. That's awesome. Now, on the other hand, if they feel that they're a lot like you, that's awesome as well, because now they might start to look up to you. They may want to be more like you. In either of these circumstances, they're going to be more willing and open to talk to you, to get on your good side, because they want to develop that relationship. They want to make it a little deeper. They want to build some more rapport, etc. So anytime you can, use relating language or language that relates the two of you together or shows some commonalities, even if you really don't like the person or you don't believe them or anything like that. You can use that as a tactic to get them to open up a little bit more. Today we are going to talk about a deception tip that is on the face. This one is a nonverbal sign. It is a sign that is something that occurs all the time, and it isn't necessarily deception. It is a sign that simply happens. It happens in conversation. It happens to people when they're accused of something. It happens when something is revealed. It's a sign that we see all of the time. It's also a sign that can be associated with liking someone or loving someone. And the reason it's associated with that is due to the color of the sign. If you haven't guessed, this is a sign that is on the cheeks. Usually what happens is when someone is accused or if it's revealed that someone likes someone, this is like with kids where they have a crush on him or her, then their cheeks may turn a little pink or red. They may be blushing. That's what we're going to talk about today. And the reason that they accuse that and then they blush isn't necessarily because they have a crush on that person. That's not why they're blushing. However, that's the way society has deemed it, that when they blush, it means you have a crush on someone, ha ha ha, na 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 na. But no, that's not entirely true. In addition, it's not true that when someone blushes, they're always lying. Blushing simply means that they're uncomfortable or something has been revealed. So right now, I'm about to reveal this tip to you. Here it is, deception tip number 85. Blushing means that something uncomfortable or private has been revealed about someone. It doesn't always indicate deception. Here it is again, deception tip number 85. Blushing means that something uncomfortable or private has been revealed about someone. It doesn't always indicate deception. So let's break this down here. Blushing means that something uncomfortable or private has been revealed about someone. Now, who's the someone? Well, it is the someone that is blushing. So if I reveal something about you that is uncomfortable or private, or maybe even a little bit embarrassing, you might blush because, why? Because you're embarrassed, or you're scared, or you're shocked that it was revealed. You didn't want that to be out in the light. So you're blushing in terms of embarrassment, or as a feeling of embarrassment type of a feeling. It's kind of like if you were shocked and you have to instantly kind of curl up, or like when you see in the movies the cartoon characters lose their pants or something and they instantly move their arms and hands to cover their bodies. It's that type of a deal. That's more of a blushing. They cover up their underwear that has all those pink hearts on it. They're embarrassed. It doesn't always indicate deception. However, when someone lies, they could be embarrassed of being caught, or if the truth is suggested or comes out, they could blush as a result of that. So you could use this as a confirmation of whether or not that person was lying. In addition, it means that something embarrassing. So in the case of a crush on someone, it doesn't necessarily mean that that person is in love with them or that they like that person. The reason being is because if someone accuses another person of having a crush on another person, the first person who got accused, they may be embarrassed. It may not be true that they have a crush, but it might be embarrassed that that rumor is now out there. Therefore, they would blush. That doesn't mean that they like that person or that they have a crush on that person. Blushing simply means uncomfortable or embarrassed, or that something private has been revealed. It doesn't necessarily mean all of these things that society says it means. Oh, they have a crush on so-and-so, they're in love with so-and-so, that they're lying, or that their face is heating up so that they're lying. Now, one thing I do want to mention is that there is a little bit of truth to some redness in the face when someone lies. Now, you know that when people get angry, they could be red in the face, and when they blush, they can be red in the face. In addition, there is a part of the face that when some people lie, it may become a little bit more red or reddened. And we're going to talk all about it coming up right after this.
Have you ever went to purchase a vehicle or appliance and weren't really sure if the salesman was telling the truth? Now there's a book that will help you spot the telltale signs of lying. It's Spencer Kaufman's A Guide to Deception. Grab your copy today on SpencerKaufman.com or any major retailer.
Welcome back to Deception Tip 85, where we are talking about blushing. And we've established that blushing isn't always something that means someone is in love with someone. It doesn't mean that they have a crush on someone. It also doesn't indicate deception right away. Blushing simply indicates that something private or uncomfortable has been revealed. It's now out in the open, and the person who is blushing feels a little bit embarrassed. They feel embarrassment. Now, before the break, I mentioned that there is a simple sign on the face that does have to deal with deception, and it also is a portion of the face that can become red. Now, this is the tip of the nose. So sometimes when people lie, their nose may become a little bit red. This, we've mentioned before, it is called the Pinocchio effect. And I believe when I mentioned it before, I said it should be called the Rudolph effect because the nose is red, and Rudolph was a red-nosed reindeer, as you know. However, for some reason it was named the Pinocchio effect because, if you know who Pinocchio is, when he would lie, his nose grew. So it got named the Pinocchio effect because Pinocchio has to do with lying, and when humans lie, if their nose turns red, it's something to do with the nose, so they said, oh, they're just like Pinocchio, so they named it the Pinocchio effect. Either way, you can watch out for that, because sometimes when someone's nose turns a little bit red, You can say, hey, this could be a sign of deception. However, it isn't really a distinct sign of deception because your nose could turn red for a variety of reasons. You could be cold. It could be sunburnt. It could be hot. There could be any type of different reason, and it's not really a definitive sign of deception, which is why I only mentioned it before, and I'm only mentioning it now because it does have to do with something similar to blushing. But in general, when someone blushes, it doesn't always mean deception. Usually, when blushing is related to deception, it's something that occurs after they have told the lie. It's not even something that is during. In addition, it's something that is after they've told the lie and after they've been accused or after the truth has been suggested on them. So it's after being challenged. We've had a few of these tips now that occur after the liar is challenged. These are things like being defensive or starting to kind of attack or challenge back or get angry, those types of signs. This one, again, is more of an embarrassment. So if you're telling me a lie and then all of a sudden I say, no, I don't think that's true because I was here at this point in this time, you have to be lying or what's going on? You might feel embarrassed that you told me that lie and that I caught you so quickly, and you start to blush. And then I would see that blushing and know that, hey, you just got embarrassed or something sensitive or private was revealed. Now, what was revealed? The lie was revealed. That was the lie that you were trying to keep private. You were trying to push it to me as the truth. In addition, as you know, liars, when they're lying, there's a big battle between the conscious and the unconscious, and they're trying to convince themselves of the lie. They're trying to keep the lie straight. They're rehearsing it. They're trying not to leak out all of these gestures and unconscious body language, etc. They're also trying to convince the target. They're worried about being caught. They're worried about the stress of the lie. All kinds of things are happening. That battle between the conscious and the unconscious is overwhelming. Therefore, they're already kind of on the edge of the cliff. They're on the tip of the iceberg, and they're about to slip off. When you come in there and you challenge them on this lie, they are going to pop. That balloon will burst because now they don't know. They're already super sensitive, if you will. So when they're challenged, and because they're so sensitive on this, that blushing may occur, and there you'll see it. Now, normally they may not blush if they're challenged or attacked. They may stand strong and fight back, but because of this battle going on inside of them and because of all this tension and stress, they are more apt to be a little bit more emotional. And that's what you're seeing when you see blushing when someone is challenged in their lie. So keep that in mind. Remember that it doesn't always indicate deception. You may not have caught them in a lie. You may have simply revealed an extra detail that they wanted to leave out. Or you may have revealed something about themselves to themselves. They may not have even been lying. They may have just realized something internally like, oh my gosh, I didn't put two and two together before, and you revealed that to me. I can't believe so-and-so did that, or I can't believe they feel this way. They may not be lying, but they may have just realized that you knew something that they didn't know you knew, or that you knew something about something else that they didn't know you know and that they didn't know, and now that they found out, they're embarrassed that they know. It could be any variety of options. It simply means that they're uncomfortable or embarrassed about the situation. So therefore, what do you need to do? When you see this, you need to think about, what do they have to be uncomfortable about? Think about your options. Think about the conversation you were having with them. Did anything get revealed? Did you challenge them in anything? Did you suggest anything? Did you question anything that they said? Think about those things, circle back to that in conversation, and then watch for additional signs or other patterns and clusters of behavior that may go along with that. Because as you know, deception is only certain when there are patterns and clusters of behavior that you can see. So I want to thank you for listening to the Deception Tips podcast. I hope that you'll share it with your friends, subscribe to the feed, take a look at the Deception Tips videos, the blog, and the books that I have available. And as always, tune in next week for a new Deception Tip.